When you're looking to purchase on Hilton Head Island, it is very important to understand what Hilton Head has to offer when it comes to communities, lifestyles, and restrictions associated with each part of the island. And so I like to run through with all of my clients a map presentation. Whether, again, primary residence, second home, short-term rental investor, you're gonna have a lot of insight after I run through this. So let's jump right in. So first and foremost, Hilton Head behind me, it's in the shape of a shoe, you can see, is the second biggest island on the East Coast next to Long Island, New York, that is habited on the East Coast. And we have 40,000 residents, 3.5 million visitors per year that generate over $1 billion annually for our local economy. That gives us big town amenities in our small little beach town. We have 12 miles of beach, which is the soul of the shoe. This is the Port Royal Sound. This is the Calabogie Sound. It is not the Atlantic Ocean. The soul of the shoe is the Atlantic. And so it's very important, again, to understand that each community offers different lifestyle restrictions and use cases. So Hilton Head started in the 50s and 60s. It was a vision that Charles Fraser had. His father actually owned a portion of the island as a logging company. And he said, "Dad, I want to create the first land planned resort unit development." And he had a vision for Sea Pines being just that. So he actually negotiated a deal with his father, purchased this part of the island on Hilton Head, and started the process to develop Hilton Head into what we know it today. When he went in to develop it, he had a mindset that was very different and a development philosophy that is actually being taught in mastery level university development courses today. And that is to have Mother Nature incorporate the infrastructure. So on Hilton Head, what makes it so special is you have no billboards, you have no neon lights, you have no buildings over the tree line. All of the buildings are painted to match the color of the foliage. And the roads, there are a lot of windy roads to give you different perspectives of Mother Nature as you're driving through these communities. The rest of the island really adopted this approach to give us what we have Hilton Head today. Let me step back real quick. Right over the bridge here, we have Bluffton, South Carolina, which is the fastest growing town in the state. And that is ultimately due because Hilton Head is developed for where it can be developed. Remember I said Mother Nature incorporating infrastructure? 1/3 of Hilton Head will forever be green space town owned. So it's very important to realize that this is finite. A lot of people want to be here. This is not Dubai. We're not building islands. And so if you move down the beach, you have Coligny, you have Shipyard, you have Palmetto Dunes, Burks, Bradley, Folly Field, and Port Royal. These are technically the only communities that do allow direct beach access or have direct beach access in the neighborhood. Something else I like to do. I like to draw a line running down here, plus, and on this side, a minus. As you move down the beach towards Sea Pines, there's actually a premium that comes from Sea Pines because of the brand name, and price points go up the more you move down. As you move north up the beach, same thing, price points tend to go down versus up. And then we can draw another axis here where as you move closer to the beach, price points are gonna go up. As you move further away from the beach, price points are gonna go down. Of course, there's caveats, deep water properties, etc., but that is a good rule of thumb. Something else that's very important before you jump in and say, I wanna buy a property here on Hilton Head, is to ask yourself, what are you doing with the property? Do you wanna rent it short term? Is it gonna be a primary residence? Is it gonna be a second home? Because different areas allow short-term rentals and some do not. I've had somebody buy in a short-term rental market before. They fell in love with this house, they bought it, great. She called me up maybe, I don't know, 6 months later and said, Brandon, I can't meet anybody on the street. Everybody keeps checking in, checking out, and I wanna move and I wanna go to an area where I can meet people. So what I like to do in this regards is draw a line down the middle of Broad Creek. So Broad Creek separates the island almost in two. This part of the island is 29926. And then this part of the island on this side of the line is 29928. And so when you get into this part of the island, this is really the only area that you can rent short term, except for Wexford, the Palmetto Bay and Point Comfort area, and the Long Cove area. And so where you can rent short term, Sea Pines, Coligny or Forest Beach. This is North Forest Beach, and this is South Forest Beach. This is Shipyard. You can rent it short term. You can rent in Palmetto Dunes. There is a subdivision in Palmetto Dunes called Leamington that is residential only and does not allow short-term rentals. So an X is not short-term rentals, a check mark is. And then the Singleton, Berks, Bradley, Folly Field also allows short-term rentals. Something important to note, let's say you don't want to rent short-term, is that you are going to pay a premium to buy a property in a neighborhood that allows short-term rentals because you can drive revenue with it. So it might not make sense to pay the premium if you don't want to rent it. And so again, 29928, 29926. On the north end of the island, or 29926, is much more of the residential neighborhoods. So you have Hilton Head Plantation here. It is the second biggest community on the island next to Sea Pines. I want to put an R for residential. You have Palmetto Hall right here. That is actually the newest community on Hilton Head. It is tier-based, meaning you don't have to join the full club, but there is a club atmosphere in there, no short-term rentals. And most of these communities are 6 months or less when it comes to rentals, so no vacation rentals. Nice community. There's a back gate here that will actually take you to the Mitchellville Beach Park. Even though this is not the Atlantic, it's the Port Royal Sound, it still has sand, it's beautiful. If you keep working your way down here, you have Port Royal, residential, gorgeous community, does have direct beach access, very affordable HOA fees. This is one of the most beautiful beach strips on the island because the beaches are public and the access points are private. So technically somebody could walk up here, but very few people do. And this is one of the most quiet beaches on the island. Leamington, residential only, really cool community that allows golf court travel. There's an oceanfront beach club for the residents. There's a resort style swimming pool, and there's only about 300 home sites in there, very sought after. So if you want to be on Hilton Head in an area that does only residential and has direct beach access, Leamington and Port Royal are your only two options. Something else that I do want to make note of is the Islander. I'm going to put Islander Beach Park, IBP, and that's right up here in Folly. So let's just say you might be asking, Brandon, well, I live on Hilton Head, but I still want to go to the beach. How do I get there? And I don't want to go to a public beach access. So if you own on Hilton Head, you can actually get, for $35 a year, your own parking space at the Islander Beach Park for property owners only on Hilton Head. If you live in Bluffton, you cannot get an Islander Beach Park. There's beach access there, there's showers, there's restrooms. It's a really nice space. And then you do have public beach accesses around. You have two in Coligny, one there, one there. You have one up here at Dryson. And there's one over here at the Berks area as well. And then you also have the Mitchellville Beach Park over here. You additionally have Indigo Run, central location, easy to get to the south end, easy to get off the island. I mentioned Hilton Head Plantation, and that is the most residential focused community. If you're into biking, reading, anything at all, there's a club for it and you're gonna meet people through that. And it's also, again, if you look at our axis here, one of the more affordable neighborhoods on the island, and it is gated. And then you have Spanish Wells over here, residential here, residential here. And Spanish Wells is a phenomenal community, very different mindset when it was being designed, when Sea Pines was being designed, and that was no gate. Every lot has at least an acre, and there's no tee times at the golf course, right? A much more laid back feel, really good, family friendly, high value residential neighborhood. You do have Windmill Harbor up here. This is more of a boating community. Right when you get on the island, they actually added a light up there. Everybody that moves into Windmill Harbor loves it and does not move out. And I would say something else important to note is when you come on, this is 278, so it takes you down the island. You can go the whole way around. But you can also take the cross island that cuts you to the south end and gets you quicker to a lot of things. Important to understand that there is areas that allow short-term rentals. Sea Pines, again, South Forest Beach, North Forest Beach, Shipyard, Palmetto Dunes, Singleton, Berks, Bradley, Folly Field allow, and the others do not. Wrapping it up all together, if you are looking for a short-term rental, ROI-wise, when you get into these Sea Pines communities that's gated, so is Palmetto Dunes, and so Shipyard. One thing to note with Shipyard is it funnels everybody to one beach access, where Palmetto Dunes has 3.5 miles, Sea Pines has 4.5 miles. There is a premium that comes with being in these gated communities that does not always make up for, let's just call it what it is, the rent that you need to perform well from an ROI basis. So where I find the best ROI, I'm gonna put a star here and a star here, is Forest Beach, and then the Singleton, Berks, Bradley, Folly Field areas. That's not to be said that these other areas don't do well. Make sure you reach out to an expert before you buy on Hilton Head, because you might be buying in a neighborhood that does not fit the lifestyle or the goals that you set out to do. And more importantly, that you have a community where you can make friends and you're accomplishing your goals. Overall, Hilton Head is driven by tourism. It is a resort destination that has been proven year over year again. It is one of the most beautiful places in the entire country. And if you need an expert to guide you to the right neighborhood, whether you're investing, whether you're moving here, or it's a second home, reach out to us at the Green Plate Group, either myself, Brandon, or my brother and partner, Evan, Green Plate, and we'll get you set up and we'll make sure that all of this makes sense and we hone in on a property that is gonna change your lifestyle for the better right here on beautiful Hilton Head Island. 843-310-0197.